Hey guys, welcome back to First Attempt Weightlifting. This is John Filippini, and I have with me Aaron Adams.
Hey.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at one of my athletes I've been training for a bit here. His name's Yavor, and he is totally awesome. Actually of Bulgarian descent. I think he was just out there visiting family recently.
Yeah, good genetics.
Very jealous. But at the same time, he's going to go and we're going to be taking a look at one of his cleans here. It's from the hang, and I think you guys will get the picture real quick.
Another one, please.
Yeah, it's a real short video, but there's a very critical piece that we want to analyze here, which is the fact that as he goes and pulls this weight, there's two things that are going on. First, he rocks forward to his hips, or to his, rocks his hips forward, he kind of tucks his butt under as he tries to pull, and then he's got this huge shoulder roll and relaxation of his thoracic spine, and he tucks his chin down. So you've kind of got both ends of the chain going. You've got the hips having a strange like tuck under and that collapsing of the thoracic chain as well. This whole time recently I've been trying to work with him. I'm trying to extend his thoracic spine and keep that head tall and shoulders back. This is actually from Muay Thai. His previous athletic background is Muay Thai, and he's telling me that this is a habit that's deep ingrained in him to be able to keep his chin tucked, to be able to protect himself in that fighting stance. And it's definitely been a habit that just, it doesn't apply to this athletic endeavor,
right?
But it's been real difficult to change.
Yeah, because that's what I tell a lot of people that are football players, basketball, baseball, their coaches are always telling them. They're like, my coach in baseball said to always stay on the balls of my feet. And I say, yeah, that's absolutely true in baseball, where you need to move, you need to make quick, sudden reactions. I said, in weightlifting, you need to make quick, sudden reactions, but you don't need to move. You need to stay in the exact same place, which basically that's what's saying, like, stay flat-footed, stay on the center of the foot as opposed to being on the ball of the foot.
Yeah, all of these drills for most of other sports are all talking about, quick reactions to move laterally or forward usually. If you got to have somebody just push straight up with a lot of force and a big stable base, middle of the foot is what you need, which usually feels pretty far back for most people.
Right, and I always think that's really cool because I think it's good to have a nice balance. Because what happens in sports is you're never in the optimal position. If you're at a high enough level, you're not in the optimal position most of the time because someone else is trying to get you out of it. If you're playing football or if you're playing baseball, sometimes you have to chase it down and things get ugly. The important part of that is knowing where your heel is. If you're playing football and someone pushes you back on your heel and you've never been there, well, yeah, you're going to be in a world of hell. Yeah. However, if you have been there and you're like, oh, okay, I know this position in weightlifting, all I have to do is explode up and then I can, reevaluate where my body is after that, that's much more effective. And that's how we get people from average to great athletes.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's look at this like a little bit more in detail. What points, like the biggest point that I see is just that hip, man. I know you're really big on like the upper thoracic stuff, which
I've had shoulder injuries, and that's something that I'm always paying attention to.
And I've had hip injuries, so
exactly. So that's how these things work.
Right. So what I noticed right there is, like you were saying before, that tucking of the tailbone. Now that really drives me nuts a lot of times when I see that. I'm like, don't hump the bar. Like, stop. What are you doing? Do that to your girlfriend later or something. But hey, I say it all the time.
It's fair.
I always make sexual references. I think it's important because that's what people know. But in this, what I would tell him to is keep his lower back arched. Always keep your lower back arched. That's like one of the things I say in weightlifting, because what that stops is that anterior hip rotation right there that we're seeing. And it's a pretty good fix. It works sometimes, and it's not, again, when I say always, that's not an always. It's an always in this case, because I want this person to understand that I want him to keep his back arched.
All coaching cues can be overused, and all of them are great in other situations. Oddly enough, the only place where I usually tell people to try hollowing out, like Yavor's doing naturally in the clean, I never want people to do that in the clean or the snatch, but sometimes I do want somebody to do that in the jerk. And we can talk about that in a whole different video, but just because of the position the bar is in, sometimes that's necessary there, but it would be a terrible cue for somebody else in this exact same lift.
Right. And what I want to say, though, is that he doesn't have to be in this hollow position. He knows right there.
He's mobile enough, and if we slide this down, I mean, he's got an amazing front squat position.
It's better than mine, for sure.
You should see his overhead squat. It's even better. But at the same time, he's got the mobility and the positions and the strength to do it. We are working on his leg strength. But at the same time, he's just not familiar in its motor coordination.
Right. So I think with a few months of practice, maybe we'll check another video out of him in a couple of months and see how he's progressed quite a bit.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, don't forget, you guys can always leave comments on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. You guys can send us emails if you want to submit videos. We'd really like to get another group of people because we've worked with a lot of these athletes. So if you guys want to send us in one of your videos, please email it to firstattemptweightlifting@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely. Take care.